Come the end of the day, that's where G2 currently sits, the only remaining undefeated team in EML. Team Falcons suffered a loss to Wild just yesterday. Can they get it done now against their long-term rivals in G2?
All right, Dogi has to relax first of all. There's some saucy behavior in the in-game chat. I hope you didn't see that. Very excited for this game. It's you look at the the matches in the beginning of the stage and going, what days have some absolute bangers? And obviously Falcons versus G2 is one of those expected banger games. And I think the fact that we got to Border is quite lucky for us because the desk said low preference map for both teams. Probably didn't expect this one. And they're both, looking pretty good so far. Is a Falcons, but definitely had a bit of a slow start to the stage, but we know how much potential they have in every given play day. So it's just a matter of when they switch on, they're going to be there in full force.
Yeah, very much so. Falcons hot and cold. Their first two games very, very hot. 7-2 over match goes 7-1 over Secret. That latter result pretty notable, of course. Secret and Falcons have had quite a bit of a rivalry. Secret, of course, won the EWC. That was over G2, but Falcons, an early exit from that tournament. They're in a bit of a strange position right now, Nick, where Falcons, a lot of people dubbed them to be, coming to this year, the most likely Kings of Europe. Last year, they were very much the Kings of Europe. They almost won 2 majors, ended up second place for both of them. They had a bit of a peter out at 6 Invitational. And then coming into the rest of the 2025 circuit, a lot of expectation, failed to deliver at EWC. What's next? Well, how long can you be satisfied just being at the top of Europe and qualifying for these international events but not actually taking home trophies? I really don't think you can be satisfied at all if you're players like we have on Falcons.
G2 starting off in classic fashion, taking east stairs for the most contested areas of Borders. That gives you access to both security break room, office archives, etc. Most rounds will start here. Question is, how much will Falcons fight back? Right now, not so much. Grimby's going out, a grenade beneath the door, caught by my disc. It's kind of gonna stall G2 out with this toxic babe as well, but they have joined it out. They know the Falcons have fallen back and surrendered east stairs control. It's a matter of when they can walk in now.
Slow and steady for Leakafak.
Okay.
No, he's actually gonna get wall banged by Stompin'. Beautiful drone inside of the skylight. Finds him a kill. Leakafak was just trying to burn time with those gas babes. He was trying to stay safe. We saw him staking along the ground, and yet he's still vulnerable to the wallbang.
We've seen Leakafak a lot this stage, playing more of a solo position and playing kind of aggressive. I mean, this round he gets wallbanged, so not dying because he's on the offense, right? But it's like, if he dies, he can call the shots for his team. Onto the cameras right now, Shaiko lashes out, doing what he does best, and gets a kill back towards Laura. That's going to mean the mirror windows are a bit safer in this round. I don't believe they've been dealt with just yet, as they're all outside the building. In G2, they get East Stairs control, but they've been, struggling to progress after that.
Ooh. Wow, what a swing from Shaiko. Best player in the region for a very good reason. He is traded, though. G2 decide to just erupt onto the site. They trade things out down to the 2v1, 2v none. And wow, it doesn't matter about Shaiko landing a few nuts shots because G2 know how to turn off the heat at a moment's notice.
Hello, 3, 2, 1, let's get crazy in the server, boys. In G2, they all come to answer on the call from Alamau and do a great job at executing together. Seemed like Shaiko was going to hit a couple of nice shots and really win the round for his team, but it was a 1v4, it seemed like, as no one was quite helping the man. Now, Border, not really sure what to expect from this map in the current meta. I haven't casted a whole lot. I haven't seen it a whole lot either. It's been historically an attacker favorite map, but I do think at the end of the day, at this level between these two teams, it's gonna come down to gunfights and execution, like who's the actual better team. I don't think you can crutch one side like on Contra or Skyscraper, where defense is king and you just like kind of ride that side and be fine. If you're good in the attack, you will win a lot of border rounds. And likewise, I think if you're good on defense and you're a good team, you will also win a lot of defensive rounds. Aggression, name of the game. G2 in that first one, they come out on top.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Yeah, you can't really predict this map. It comes down to a lot of aggression. I mean, a lot of the engagements that round were just players swinging and having insane mechanics. That was the 2 kills from Shaiko, and then eventually, he loses one fight. It's just the nature of how this map plays out. Really favors teams that are hot on their shot, which very much is the case for all 10 players in the server right now. A lot of opportunities for multi-kills and clutches here on Border too. not to say that utility doesn't have an impact. Falcons on the defensive side, you know, missing that Azami is going to be really challenging. Missing the mute as well is going to make things easier for G2. Still mirrors to deal with, still lots of traps to deal with. You know, the Ella and the goo mines from the Legion as well.
I actually quite like the Legion of a border, the window jump-ins, the potential of shields being brought on the attack when no Alama on G2 likes to bring them on occasion, the Blackbeard, the Blitz, etc. No shields for this one though, but Lyra in the hallway goes to gunfight.
What?
Yep, just like
wow. That is quite a way to clear a mirror position, just sending someone in amidst a distraction. It works for one kill. The trade is well worth it when Leakafak is the one dying early. He's the smoke, the IGL, and one of the core entry players and core roamers. Look at this drone work though from G2. You can see why they banned the mute. They're doing such a good job at getting info. It netted them a wall bang for Stompin in the first round. Now, yeah, Blaz, unfortunately for Brede, cannot be found as of yet.
It's a bit awkward, you know, Lara goes in, gets the kill. Instead of, you know, playing safe and holding an angle, he keeps progressing forward, he dies. Now G2 can't really retake that fountain position with the mirror window, and Lara was playing the Ash. That's why it's so awkward. He has to be the counter player. Blaz is a second mirror counter, but he's injured, so his gadget isn't gonna work as Hibana. And right now, he doesn't look to be all that retrievable. The mirror window is still intact. Solotov roaming up above. This flashbang has to do good work to enable Stompin in.
Should flash him too, and immediately he goes in for the kill. Finds Solotov, the trade almost comes through. Meanwhile, Blaz has bled out. Alamau and Stompin have got to clutch up. The Deimos target for Stompin, the young gun. He gets info on Shaiko. Down below now, both of the remaining defenders. Plenty of time for G2 to find him.
Yeah, so mind you, the mute is banned right here. So you gotta basically track one defender, communicate where he is, either isolate that kill or look for the second player and isolate him instead. Try and force the 1v1s or 2v1s. 35 seconds, Diffuser just picked up. One more tracker in the pocket of Stompin if this one doesn't work out.
Is he going to go for the other player? Now he has a pretty solid idea of where one of them is. And Brede, it's Shaiko underneath the hatch. Look at how aggressively he's playing it. 21 seconds. As it starts to tick down, he will be targeted. Decides to back away. Goo mine, that's a very dangerous way to play it. Stompin and Alamau now have to drop straight into the traps. Brede making his way back in. Shaiko, he's constantly dancing around the site. And the two Frenchmen pair up to find the final kills for Falcons.
Really gotta praise Shaiko for understanding how important his position was. It looks like he's just playing his like super aggro holding hats. What he's doing is not giving G2 the bomb site at all, because if you count the tracks from Deimos, which, you know, Shaiko's being a Deimos main himself, he recognized there was one more left in pocket. I need to stay on the bomb site until the final tracker goes out. If they target me, I'm gonna run away, and Miro's gonna go from the bathroom rotate in towards Archives. If they track the Miro, then I bet you Shaiko's gonna stay beneath that hatch and hold the drop down, because it's the only real avenue for G2 to enter that bomb site. They're not gonna walk down the middle staircase and spend 5, 6, 7 extra seconds making a bunch of noise. They're gonna hot drop the hatch and try and go for a plant. So it feels like, again, Falcons, they have a few key players really holding their nerve and keeping these rounds together, whereas G2, a bit more 5-man team effort. And I truly believe if small things can be adjusted in that last round, like Laura getting the opening kill, slowing down, deal with the mirror window, and then you can speed up again, it would change the entire outcome of that round, because that mirror window stalled the round for a very long time. Blast is injured, he bleeds out, and it becomes like a plan B, flashbang, stomp, and entry. But it's a 2v4, and they brought it down to a 2v2, so great job for G2 trying to problem solve, but the round didn't have to be that complicated because they were so good on that early kill.
Talk about complicated versus simple. When you see the Glaz blitz and you see this many smokes and nades on the board, I have a feeling this might not be too complicated of a round after all. Alamau, the first one to go deep, straight past the Banshee, but immediately falls to Brede, SMG-12 in hand. However, we need that Warden elsewhere. He's meant to be looking through the smoke and denying the plant. Blaz has confirmed it, and Stompin elsewhere watching for runouts. He finds one before he's traded. Numbers for the defense as Falcons look to retake.
Blaz is staying on the side with Blitz, by the way. Stompin's isolated 1v2, gets one, traded.
Yeah. Still time for Falcons to get this done. Yeah, Blaz is still holding on. He finds one, traded back again. All up to Loira now. Uses and Solotov. About 8 seconds they've got to find this kill. Nitro Cell's gonna do it. They can jump straight on the kit. They've got about 3 seconds to do so.
Wait, there's no time.
And they will get it.
No.
Are you kidding me?
They didn't defuse.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you.
League Attack didn't get it. Are you kidding me?
No. What?
What?
Like, I think they thought someone else was gonna do it, but the guy jumped out to confirm the kill, and no one started defusing. They had time. They had 9 seconds. Oh no!
What?
No! We gotta get a replay. We gotta get a replay.
Falcons! You can't be letting that happen! Stompin's only just realized the scoreline. G2 should have lost that round.
They did. They did lose it, but then they won.
Fair and square. 3 players still standing for Falcons. Nobody is on the diffuser.
Oh boy. Let's see it here. So Blitz, it was just trolling, by the way. He's in the smoke. I respect it, but like, why are we not on the rappel? C4 injures Loira. Look, injured at 13 seconds.
Bang.
And then there's 9 seconds left here, and no one's defusing. Like, I don't know.
That's unbelievable. I mean, you had 6 seconds of overlap. It takes 7 seconds to defuse. It was 13 seconds on the clock after the down. It's unbelievable that with 3 players up, no one from Falcons had the initiative to get on that kit. It doesn't matter if you killed the player or not.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if all 3 of you die. Look, it might end up being a nice clip for Loira outside. 2 of you lose the fight and 1 of you's on the diffuser and dies. But at least you gave it a shot. And I don't think banning the glass is going to help much for Falcons.
Right now for Falcons, this is about how much mental damage that round will do to you as a team. You gotta stay composed. It's the 4th round starting just now. You cannot afford to tilt over a really silly mistake like what just happened. This gotta be it, guys. We actually won the round. Don't mind the score. Keep playing like we have been. We'll be okay. Don't worry too much about it. My bad. We'll fix it next time. That's it. End of story. Never dwell on these kinds of moments, because if you get stuck in your own head, you can be stuck on that mistake for 2-3 rounds and just not be here mentally. And when you're up against C2 and Border, you need to be present, because look at the pace of these rounds. They're fast, they're unpredictable, and G2 are trying to control the pace by making good entry work. The Sense Wall lineup being tossed out. G2 again looking like they want to try and bait out a play. Try and sell the armory attack, maybe we'll go archives instead. Gotta clear the castle barricades first, actually, so G2 gonna slow things down for now. It's quite nice.
Yeah, that's gnarly from Stompin. Someone's been practicing the Sens lineups. His ROUs are pretty things, aren't they? Look at the way he holds it. Ready to toss out another one. What's the next lineup? Speaking of interesting operators, we've got the Ryora as well, and the Amaru. G2 attempting to do some kind of set play. We've got Shaco on the alibi, by the way.
Yeah. I'm not sure what that's about just yet. Oh, they're gonna go for it.
Here we go. Amaru straight up the hatch. Spotted, but wins the fight with the shotgun regardless. Meanwhile, a rappel inside from the Grim on the windows, and, well, Stompin, he's got the balcony on lock. G2, a very unorthodox pocket strat, but it works a treat.
This has kind of been their go-to so far this stage. I mean, we saw a highlight earlier on the Endless desk about their execute on Consulate, you know, rappelling in different windows, playing together, executing, going for bombs at rushes. This is that same kind of thing, a pocket play where you have a couple of small pieces and it comes down to winning your gunfights, but because you have either flashbang or utility or 2v1 gunfights, you're much more favored to win out in those situations. I mean, Amaru going up the hatch, shotgun close quarter, even if they start shooting first, unless you get one shot headshot first bullet, that shotgun is gonna win you the gunfight, and he did exactly that.
Yeah, very early tactical call now from Falcons, probably needed. I mean, that's a throw into a failed rush or a lost rush. What the Falcons do now, 3-1 down on their defensive side. Border, like we said, attack, defense, it's anyone's game, but if you go down 4-2, 5-1, this is going to be a very quick affair for G2.
I mean, tactical timeout taken, a bit of a mental boomer. The round before this one, G2 looked like they just got their pocket strats ready, and they're not afraid to take those risks that it requires. The one thing that I think is C2's biggest strength maybe right now is when they go for an execute and someone dies early, which we actually have seen a couple of times already here in Border, they don't stop and hesitate for the play. It's a full commitment till the very end. Like that Taylor's situation, right? I think it was Stompin entering maybe into Workshop, he dies to Bride, and then we swap and we're planting down the diffuser, and we're still deeply committed to the bomb site plant. And the round works out somehow, some way.
Bomb located by
Border is
attackers.
a pretty small map. If you hesitate, it can make or break a difference, because you can be either right next to your teammate in the heat of the moment, or you can be, you know, a 2-second sprint away. And on a small map, you're gonna find those defenders a lot quicker. So having a 2-second gap between the first entry and the second entry can make or break some of these gunfights. So shoulder to shoulder, in together, 3, 2, 1 countdowns, those are gonna be your key factors to winning some of these attacking rounds.
And G2 have been very well coordinated, so they are always within touching distance of each other.
Oi, 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 oi. That's a tilter as well. Attack timeout taken. Oh, never mind. They're just gonna shoot back through the wall. Hello? Just like that, a wall bang. Now Falcons in the driver's seat. Gotta kind of slow things down now, take a breather. Now you've swung. You've gotten your kills. Now you gotta play the objective. 3 toxic babes, Valkyrie cameras, Elamine in pocket. Don't give G2 any 1v1s. Don't give Stompin an ability to find a target with the tracker and take a free kill.
Yeah, especially since Falcons have dismantled the core pillar of this attack, which is that blitz. You know, the most challenging thing to deal with. And the Thinker to support it. Oh, Lawyer is finished off as well.
Okay.
A shot from Blaz. He goes straight on inside, takes down the bulletproof camera and looks for a little bit more. A drone certainly won't hurt. But you're right, the way back in this for G2 is Stompin finding some kills on the back of the tracker. Him and Blaz certainly have the firepower to get this done. 10 kills between them. Shaiko is still alive.
Yeah.
I wouldn't count him out of any gunfight.
We've been here before. Last time was a 2v2, this time a 2v3.
Death mark on the way.
Soft breaching charges in the pocket of Blast. I would like to see them getting used with some soft destruction to enable Stompin more.
Swapping mag.
Hits the beam set, it doesn't get that kill to use this. Blast is going downstairs, dies in the gun to Shaiko, and Stompin is still chasing this player downstairs.
Yeah.
That's tough.
1v3. Yeah, it's not easy now for Stompin. Wasn't easy when Blaz was alive, and just Shaiko doing Shaiko things, contesting everything he can. Look at the confidence with which these Falcons players are still peaking. I mean, Shaiko, he's so eager. No fear. We've seen Stompin do crazier things than this, but I just don't think it's possible this time around. AK in hand, just look at the way Falcons aren't giving him anything. Very much a necessary tactical timeout for Falcons, and they make good on the promise of it. A second round on the board, 1 left in the half.
Maybe these rounds are going a bit too fast for G2's liking now. I mean, they get the opening pick and then they keep speeding forward. To be fair, the Blitz got wall banged, so kind of unfortunate. But we're not really getting to see the Deimos gadget having much of an effect, because the round is practically over within the first 60-80 seconds, and Stompin is only just getting to the building and getting those trackers booted up into his kit. All good though. G2 is still leading, Falcons now finding their way back, they're both kind of ramping up. This could very well be a 3-3 even half, with Falcons actually gaining some momentum towards the end to take into their attack in half. But the big question remains, what bomb site will they go to? Only one is locked right now for them. That's that Ventilations workshop that we just saw.
Yeah, do we go back up top? Like, is that worthwhile?
Attackers have located a bomb.
G2 managed to win it with a slow attack in the first round,
Tellers.
capitalizing on gaps,
Yeah.
and then a rush. And yeah,
10
the
seconds
Tellers
to go.
round, I mean, realistically, this was a Falcons win. They just threw
Exactly.
it because no one got on the diffuser with 13 seconds left.
Yeah, and G2 isn't gonna go for the same rush again with Blitz Glass, because 1, the glass is banned now by Falcons, and 2, they're not gonna go for it twice. It's just not gonna go for it. So with very small changes, Falcons should be very happy to go to this bomb site. Rusty spawn peek here from Solotov, a little bit cheeky.
I love the angle over the vending machine as well. This is extra cheeky. I love the fact that they're droning, but no, the drone didn't see the spawn peek and wouldn't see Solotov anyway. He backs up to another angle. He really is worried about getting pre-fired though.
What is Dogi cooking here? This is gonna be a nade of all time right here. I'm not sure what it's gonna try and take away. If he's gonna be, if he's playing,
Shaiko? There's no way this.
I think it's if he's playing in the hallway by the soft wall, but not the staircase itself. So the air jab one area, and then nade the other. Because if you use the air jab, got the yellow ping. I mean, it's gonna hit this exact area. Yep.
Wow. Okay. A little bit high, but Loira still finds the angle on Shaiko regardless. I don't think that nade did the damage. I think it got caught because it looked like it exploded a little bit too high. But regardless, really nicely played there from G2. You can see multiple players working together to guarantee that 1 kill on Shaiko.
Yeah, I mean, I think he IQ scanned it first to make sure there's like no one my Jaeger, etc. Then he waits for the call. Even if the nade didn't get the kill, it forces Valkyrie to move because you see the indicator. You're not gonna tank the nade even if it fails.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna keep swinging.
Speaking about tanking, Leakafak has tanked way too many bullets and falls back. It's an obliteration now for Falcons. Thankfully, Users finds one. Tempted to drop back to site, but there's so much time on the clock. What is going on, Brede? That was a big mistake, exposing yourself to the site window. G2 will lap that up and lap up the half as well. Alam out to finish it off. It's a 4-2 split for the attacking side. Moving into their defense, G2 remain in a comfortable lead.
It's funny because the first like 5 or so attack rounds, G2 have been very open with the cards that they've been, you know, using, right? Like we go for rush here, attack archives, etc. They haven't been like unpredictable. They've just been really fast and precise. In that final round, they're doing some really odd stuff. Like the Doki's nade from Skylar is like a what happened here situation. First player goes down. Then Doki's kind of outside the building, scanning with the IQ scanner. Now he's on the Tiller's window, which no attacker is usually on that early in the round until you go for a bomb site plant, gets a free kill on Brede. That was a G2 round where like they were applying pressure kind of everywhere but nowhere at the same time, and Falcons seem to have one answer to G2's playstyle, and that's trying to match their aggression, taking all these gunfights in honestly not that great spots on the map. Leakafak in particular, I think he's 2 and 5 right now, struggling individually to get some good wins on the board in his individual gunfighting. But I do think going 2-4 on defense of Falcons is enough to make this a competitive series, because now they're going to attack, and looking at how this is playing out, I do think we're gonna see attacker for Water, I gotta say. Yeah, he got caught by the railing.
Bomb diffuser has been dropped.
Yeah, but I mean, there was a little bit of an exchange that played out in the all chat. I love that Doki and Stompin were kind of taunting Shaiko, saying, "Don't you know about that, Skylight? Don't you know about that, nade?" Shaiko's response was, "So you really respect me that much that you have to nade that? You can't take the fight?" I like how that makes me feel. So Shaiko's spinning the story a little bit into something that gasses him up. Classic Shaiko.
That's aura right there.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be honest, if I'm up against Shaiko on the server, I'm gonna avoid the gunfight at all costs and throw nades, shields, flashbangs, anything else at the problem, and then try and deal with them.
Now you see me, now you don't.
5 seconds to go.
And he's also getting in the chat against Doki as well. Where are these mirror winners? So we got one facing the long hallway.
And one in pocket.
One in pocket. Is it probably going to be Archives?
Yeah, Archives wall.
There we go.
Not that many great mirror locations, I would argue, in the current meta of Border, but this one is a pretty good one.
Oh, is that Loira?
He did to Solotov, what Solotov tried to do to him. I think he was spawn peek and break door with a Rooney DMR. Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Can't do that to the master himself. He's ready for it.
DMR on a Rooney gives people a license. Some people maybe a little bit too overzealous on it. The clash now spotted. Blaz. We have a good counter for it though, in the form of the Nomad. Air jab's going out. Solotov preempting some of this classic G2 aggression. Meanwhile, Leakafak on his lurk down below. It's classic.
Yeah, lurking Leakafak, as you always say. I think you might have coined that term, at least in my mind you have. And I like the IGLing style of Leakafak. He's kind of everywhere and nowhere at the same time, but he's also always proactively calling around himself. And like, guys, what work can I do? What's the mirror windows? Trying to find some value from below. Castle barricades enabling Doki in the 90 hallway. C4 from above takes down Shaiko on the entry, and he stares actually. It's a huge C4.
Yeah,
again,
we're now having a laugh about that. Yeah, this is really good here from G2. After losing Loira, they've brought themselves way back into it. Still, Falcons haven't had an adequate response for these mirror windows. Ligafac's gone below. He brings out his second breaching round, but I don't think it's going to be in position to counter these mirror windows. I don't think Usus has found any success with his Twitch drones at doing that either. So this doesn't feel like nearly enough for Falcons.
This is risky. This guy on the window.
What?
Adama doesn't care.
Flopping neck.
Wow.
That's,
the goal to disrespect that window and go for a wide swing. That's going to be a tilter there for Shaiko, or Ligafac rather. Yeah, this guy is so cocky. Alamal goes down, but might not matter for G2. If they can withstand this execute, Usus forced to jump on inside and cover as the plant's going down from Bride. Yeah, the C4 might miss, but G2 still have the numbers up. Plant goes down. Big flick from Doki and a team kill to finish him off from Stompin. Blaz, it took him far too long to get into position. The Clash, though, of course, can put down the shield, but with Usus finding a third onto Stompin, I think the round might have just flipped. Falcons, out of nowhere, have done it on the back of these two players coming up clutch. Blaz, I mean, the Clash is great, but there's just no way this works. He's going to try and fake it. It'll be a quick swing here from Usus, no doubt. Ooh, jump out. Technically, there's just enough time, but I don't think there will be to actually get the defuse off. And there you go, 7 seconds remain. Bride is going to be able to lock this one in. A consolation frag for Blaz means nothing. Falcons really impressed that they could get that round across the line.
This is one of those rounds where it shows G2's weaknesses and their cocky behavior, right? Because in my mind, the second LLM makes the first play, which is, you wide swing the window, kill the player by the door, and you fall back with 1 health, you don't peek ever again, because 1 bullet and you're injured, then you'll die. They know they're gonna go for an Archive's plant because it's the only area where attackers are, and he saw one by the window, he knew one guy was door, that's the last 2 people in the server. So you gotta fall back and play your own life and just watch cameras or stay alive or whatever, I don't care. Then you gotta get the last C4, which I think was in Doki's pocket on the mirror, yes it is, and get that over for the second plant deny, because what you don't have right now if you're G2, you had nobody actually in armory, because Stompin ran out to kill the player on the security balcony, and Blaz was in security himself. That means no one is actually in armory. The second Alamal dies, no one is in archives either. And we saw Doki throw the C4 when Alamal died, but he was too far away, it clipped the shelf, and didn't get that nice curve on it, and it hit nothing. So G2 having all the tools available, man advantage, and a Clash. And because they simplified the process by just taking silly gunfights, they actually end up losing the round. Bit more discipline on the side of G2 because they won it and then they lost it.
Yeah. Yeah, that C4 would have really changed things if Doki had landed it, though. Goes to show, on a map as small as this, 1 missed C4 can mean the world. Retakes are very challenging. Falcons are feeling a little bit better after starting strong on their attack. You said it, they might be able to come back on this second half. I wonder if the Blackbeard's going to play into that Bride now. What's he going to cook with that Blackbeard? Where's the push going to come from?
Not the most common shield team as Falcons, but they do dabble sometimes on the operators. I'll say probably Monty the most, from my memory at least. And the nades are nice though from the Blackbeard. You just get more explosiveness, you can clear corners, power positions, utility, etc. And you're a good face shield to get that information game going. 6 seconds spent, Selma charges going out, limiting Laura's playable positions by east stairs. He might have a hard time falling back if he waits for too long because all these guns will be ready and waiting for him.
Oh wow. Yeah, speaking of, Doki elsewhere caught out on the tub. Usus has gone 10 kills, by the way, out of nowhere. I don't know when that happened.
Changing max.
IED active. Sweeping perimeter.
It's actually a pretty interesting run for Falcons, though. They just have Bride stored in the east door, just getting information. They're not taking the actual map space right now. They're all outside the building besides Ligafac and Passport. 4 people outside the building. They're gonna take that freebie. They're gonna rotate their push. Maybe just go for an armory attack. And then, like, obviously the bomb site is downstairs, but need a bit of armory control. Then you can attack the bomb site itself. We see LML up here. Can't do much against the BB, really. Doesn't have any tools, no impacts, no C4. Doki call goes out and Falcons get some information. Ooh.
Yeah, Shaiko getting a bit of information, but in a bit more of a painful way. Hang on a second. Bride's in sight. Ligafac is covering him. How did G2 let this slip through their fingers? Falcons snuck onto sight. Attempted retake won't last long for Loira. Blaz and Stomper now need to get to work. Another round where Falcons are on the site and G2 are far out of position. Shaiko goes down, but Blaz won't know about it, and it's still a nigh impossible retake. The only thing that they've got going for them for G2 is the fact that this is a very difficult spot to hold in the post. But the Blackbeard comes up, or Bride, it's awkward. Both of them get knocked back, and now Bride not able to continue pushing the position. However, with his teammates, he's able to find both of the final kills. Solitol's got a lot to say about it, and Falcons end up with another round on the board.
I didn't check the exact timer, but I actually think there's a world where he sticks the defuse and they might actually win the round. But when his teammate got melee traded with the Blackbeard, he came off the defuse to help his teammate instead. At least that's what I noticed. But again, Leaguefact doing a great job again, middle of the map, calling for his team, saying, guys, I can find the gap, follow me. Him and Brady walk in, get on the diffuser. Shaiko rotates out the building to the main front door and holds the crossfire. Yes, Leaguefact dies, but A, the bomb goes down, and 2, Shaiko trades the kill. They keep numbers advantage, they play the post plant, and I mean, they can hold that diffuser from outside the building and from the verticality if they go back upstairs. It is practically unlosable. And G2 called tactical timeout.
Yeah. I mean, well, the lead that they had garnered in the first half is now evaporated. It's a 4-4. And G2 struggling on their defenses. Again, like I said before, how they always caught out of position. It happened on that Archives attack. We've had all these players over in CCTV when the push was clearly coming through. C4 lands too late. Happened here as well. How do we have so many Falcons players in sight and G2 have no idea about it?
That's a good question. I think the game right now, I mean, maybe not that round, but generally speaking, the game is very fast-paced. Playing operators like Valkyrie, like Maestro, like Echo, like Intel operators seems pretty difficult. The only real benefit is like, if you get a defender dying early, they can sit on camera duty and of course get the camera information. But then we have all seen both Falcons and G2 play IQ, which obviously deals with those Intel operators. So it just feels like a bit of lack of the full picture, for the simple reason that half the map is actually dark for G2, they like Intel. Now they get more utility. They get the Valkyrie, they put a camera from the Lesion mines as well, give information of course, specifically on windows and some of the doorways. And you get the Shanga, Warden, Omai to protect or to stop people from pushing you. Falcon's response to this? Chaos. Ying, Glass, Blackbeard, Grim. They can hit an Armory rush, a CC rush, an Archives rush. They can do a lot of really crazy stuff, seemingly out of nowhere. And unless G2 have the foresight or a good idea on what they're going to be doing, they're not going to be able to be ready for it. And if you're not ready, the plant will go down.
And this is where Falcons banning out the smoke really comes into play. When you got Ying, Glaz, a lot of smokes on the attack, you want that gas on the defense. Also, for the 2 rounds so far, the Falcons have won. If G2 had a smoke, 1 gas babe, and then it gives time for the rest of the players to rotate back to side. Stompin, keen to play aggressive. The Warden's the perfect operator to go up against the Glaz. A C4 burnt early for Alamau. G2 are suspicious that Falcons are making a play. They'd be right.
Flash going out, no real follow-up. Oh, we missed the second killer. Those smokes going out. They're gonna go. They're not gonna stay out. They're gonna go right in.
Yeah, going straight for his shotgun in hand. The fire is there to receive him, and so is the spray on the Warden from Stompin. As Falcons look to restabilize, Bride's taking a hell of a lot of damage. They don't have the ground they want though, and that gives Loira so much space on CCTV. The Ecofac in a 1v2. Winnable, but still not an enviable spot to find himself in, especially not when a shot like that lands from Stompin. A much needed defense on the board for G2.
Little bit of hesitation there from the side of Falcons and a very small hiccup on the second Candela tossed by Ying. It hit the Blackbeard, bounced outside the building, and then they gotta wait another 3 or 2 seconds to cook the third Candela and then go on in. Ying then sprints for a second too long, doesn't get to fire the shotgun in the gunfight, and those small things give G2 the space to retake the strong positions and of course win their gunfights individually. Now, if G2, we rewind the clock a little bit, right? So that first defense on Armory that they should have, could have won, but didn't, and this game would have looked very clean from them. So if this game keeps going as close as it has, back and forth, round by round, it's gonna come down to those mistakes that both teams have been making, right? Falcons on the Taylor's defense not going for a defuse, G2 on the first defense not hitting the C4, and LMR over peaking. Great shot from Stompin as well. I mean, League Effect got the yellow pink formation. Stompin's just him.
Yeah. It's a big round for G2 though. Map point on the other side of it. Falcons have pushed them though. These attacks are, yeah, cheeky from Falcons. There's always some cheeky idea, whether it's the Ying and the Glaz, going for an armory execute, whether it was on that Vents workshop, sneaking into sight somehow. That's what I'm going to keep an eye on here, because G2 are going back to Vents this time.
Left before insertion.
And I would say this is probably the worst of their defenses we've seen so far. I don't know if you'd agree with me, but the fact that they had no one on site, that Falcons were able to get in there, that G2 had no way to get back on there, are so caught out of position. They need to really change a lot moving to this round.
I'd have to agree with you. Ventilation also has a lot that can go wrong because you're playing on two different floors with heavy contest, right? You're playing top floor because it oversees the bomb site below, but you also gotta play below because you gotta have some bomb site presence. So a lot of individual mispositions can happen and you can die early, lose map presence, etc. Right now it's gonna be 1 below, 4 above, so a heavy top floor presence priority for G2. But then Solotov walks in, gets a complete freebie with good drone work from League Effect on the Twitch. And G2 once again, they don't really know where Falcons are attacking from. They look the wrong way and they fall early. Lyra once more, dead.
Yeah. Every single round of this half, G2 have lost a player early on. That's one of the earliest we've seen. League Effect, ooh, wow, caught out. I don't know why he wasn't expecting Blaz to swing so aggressively. Vulnerable to that angle. The numbers are back even again. Brede poising himself to potentially execute into workshop, but there's a lot of crossfires for a Blitz to deal with in that position.
It's gonna be Ying upstairs making chaos and distraction. Blitz running through the bomb site with his teammates in the B bomb site window most likely.
Oh, he's got the angle. Oh no. The bash from the Solus, he does end up getting Alamau at the end of it. 2v3 now for G2. And again, Uno is separated, oh, it's not Uno, so separated from Stomp and Doki as he has taken on down. It's all up to just the C4 player of the Mira as he tries to make his way back. The C4 still not blown. Hello, Blitz. And surely that'll be the end of it here for Brede. Knocks him back and a big kill as well. 5-5 as Falcons put G2 on their breaking point.
Gotta praise the Brede Blitz right there. He didn't go for the plant, didn't make the risky play in the 3v1 because if he dies, the rank can kind of flip on its head. He played a good Blitz. Brede, not known as a shield player, Falcons, not known as a shield team, but they're starting to implement them quite successfully, almost like a support execute operator. Most teams that play Blitz and Blackbeard, they're first in the building, they're leading the front, and they're getting the intra kills done. And the teams are working around them. Brede right now is like the backstabber with the diffuser because they're distracting people on the main door, B-bombs at window ventilation, and then Brede just runs in blue double door, gets the one flashbang, gets the kill, throws down the smoke grenades, waits for the Dokubi call, then hunts down another defender instead of planting. He's like the executor in the late round as the Blitz, not the early engager on the Blitz. It's a different twist on it, but it's working quite well for him.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's keeping me guessing. I'm trying to figure out the way the Falcons are going for these executes. Even though we can see where they are before the execute, it doesn't guarantee where they're going to end up. It's so risky for a Blitz to be running through all those crossfires, and yet they make it work. You mentioned the Ying. He had a big impact. Now G2, Falcons have pushed them the distance, and you know what, Pengu? For the first time, G2 may drop a point here in the EML. Falcons win one more round, then G2 will be on the edge of their seats. They'll have to push to overtime for the first time to take a round win, or take a match win here against Falcons, the only undefeated team that remains. And their util is being stripped away by this Brava of users.
It's time to give it your all. Like, honestly, at this point, kind of eyes on Lyra and Doki. I feel like they've been kind of lackluster. Doki missing the C4, Lyra being the first death a couple of times on defense.
Yeah.
Individually, I want to see a bit more from them, and it doesn't have to be them getting 20 kills in a game, but like just play around your teammates and get stuff done instead together. with other people in the server. A good nade from Shaiko forces back the player of Elements out of CCTV.
Activating override.
Gets him a bit of map space, rather. The Stumping goes down first to Shaiko.
Another opening kill for Falcons. Every single round of their attack, they found it. G2 is struggling here, and their top frag is sitting out watching cams. Shaiko makes his entry. He's just waiting for a chance to fire up that commando again. As Falcons can slow the round down.
Yeah.
Half of it has gone by. Still a lot of ground to be taken. I mean, Loira's still holding onto East stairs here.
There you see G2 not knowing where the attack is coming from. So if you miss that, you might just get taken down. Almost happens there once more.
And there it is, Loira finding one. Shaiko does again find a kill, but Falcons are falling to pieces. All up to Shaiko now. And he does not last. G2 out of nowhere, spring into every single angle and find all the kills. Match point on their side, but the job's not done yet. One last round to get it done in regulation.
A bit of a crazy one. I mean, those last 4 kills in the server happened from across the map. Laura in East Stairs gets a kill almost all the way into Armory. Doki with the Rooney DMR does the exact same thing. Long range engagement also gets a faraway kill. I like what Falcons are cooking here in the beginning. Kind of stabbing around the map in different areas, not committing to any singular push in particular, but just kind of being everywhere and trying to go for some picks. And that's the thing about Border. You can play the bombs up rushes, you can play the lurk game, you can play the backstepping game, you can play a lot of different styles on the attack, and that's why attack is often favored. Because you got so many options, and the map favors you in positions from outside the building, you know, cutting off the map in half from the exterior windows, etc. G2 don't seem to have the best take on like the information game. I don't think they know exactly what Falcons are going to be doing in a round, but they do hit their shots right now, and that is saving them in some of these moments where we don't know what's going to happen next, but we're holding these angles and we got good shots. So if we hit these, we can get numbers advantage and win from there. Falcons are good for the first entry. They've been finding it pretty often, but they don't convert much after. It kind of stalls out the round, and G2 don't make more mistakes, so Falcons don't get more free kills.
Yeah, as I think that'll be telling if G2 can find the opening kill this round.
Yeah.
Might just be GG Falcons.
Very well could be.
Up on Armory though.
I'm reloading.
You also mentioned that G2, they could very well have won their first defense of this bomb site.
That's true.
Reloading.
If anyone goes down from Falcons, it's very high value operators, right? If you take down Capital, Doki could be Lion or the Blackbeard. That's gonna be the utility, the execute. League Effect's gonna be lurking downstairs or somewhere on the map with the Nuke, which is great because he can't be seen by the Valkyrie cameras. But if he dies, then they lose their entire backstabbing potential. So every player of Falcons is in the awkward spot of, hey, we have to take the map control and entry the building, but we also can't risk losing any of these operators because they're all so viable and so valuable, rather, to the round.
Here comes the Lion. Loira feeling that pressure. He's likely the first one to fall. Doki with the Tachanka will support him, but Shaiko's got fire of his own. A few sprays peppered his direction. The Dokkaebi call rings on out. The logic bomb detonates. Loira just waiting for a chance to take a fight. But the Wamai is the perfect counter here to the Capitao. He still peeks into the angle and Shaiko wins it. A missed opportunity for Loira again. He's the first victim. League of Facts now in the building. Doki though stands up and holds his position in office. Bearing 9 comes out. He needs to be supported by Alamau as Falcons circle on the top floor.
Laura trying to min-max that spot, thinking I can get more value out of this position, but dies early. Doki 1 HP, blasting CC, goes into the Shaiko, walks in for a second, and he stays alive.
And this is so big from Shaiko. So many impact kills he is finding. Well, has reveals his position as well. Now he's going to be vulnerable. Great flash. Solotov might be able to back it up after that. Leakafak made his way up the main stairs, but has to back up again. Another flash will surely secure the kill. No, the Blackbeard helps and supports. And Solotov finds it. Shaiko finally down. That's the deadliest player from Falcons G2 have dealt with, but they are reeling. Desperate to try and find something. Alamau and his duel downstairs. Leakafak finds him. Stomping the last one standing. It's going to need to be a 1v2.
No cover.
He's found the first of 3. And there is no cover. Like you said, League of Fact finally gets himself to the top of the main stairs, and the Blackbeard will force that plant down. The young gun with no C4 spots that Blackbeard and a staring contest that he is sure to lose. He has to push on forward, but Falcons, they're pushing for an overtime. Stompin' trapped between the two players, just waiting to be picked, and League of Fact will abide. Falcons have taken the first point from G2 in stage 2, and they're pushing for a whole lot more than that.
This Blackbeard is really work out in their favor as well. They played it perfectly in the 2v1, just waiting for the information game, force the 2v1. Stompin has to close the gap, doesn't have the C4. The Blackbeard can always use the gadget in close quarter. He will win the melee fight, and if not, League of Fact can walk in and shoot Stompin in the back. It is an impossible round for Stompin to win unless Falcons make a mistake somewhere, but they didn't. I want to say that Laura might have been a little bit overzealous this round. You know, he got 2 fires from Capital, 1 smoke grenade, I think a flashbang and a frag grenade, and he thought, you know what, I can get a little bit more. And he's the first domino piece to fall. Also, we gotta really take a look here. League of Fact roaming around with Nook. He was taking multiple gunfights with yellow ping information. He's not just lurking and baiting on his lonesome, he actually has active information from the dead players on cams from Falcons, and that's what got him that pre-fire kill on bottom main stairs. And that's really what sent Falcons into a round victory position, because that 2v2 with a Valkyrie downstairs becomes a 2 versus 1 BB planting just against the Warden. Huge value from the IGL Falcons, and now an even game, and Falcons are staying on the attack, the favorable side.
Yeah. Oh, we've seen twice as many rounds won on the attack than we have in the defense this game. League of Fact, you said it on that lurk, he is so difficult to deal with. He's on the Nook again, he's going to be going for it. He feels like he's everywhere at once. The way he darts around, pushes up the main stairs, back down again, then he's on the east stairs, then he's pushing from elsewhere, then he's shooting you through the floor. Keeps G2 guessing.
Yeah, there's 2 types of lurkers in this world. That was a bit of a yikers, 2 drones lost, but anyway. There is 2 types of lurkers in this world. They're the ones that are detached from the round action, doing their own thing. They get 1 kill, they get out of there. They do their own thing. Some people call them baiting, but they're not always baiting. The other one is that you're actually lurking with the intent of supporting your team and just listening to their communication and trying to see what you can do to assist them and what they want to do. So if Falcons here want to try and clear east stairs and League of Fact is listening, he can go into customs, into passport, and try to watch the run back. If that east stairs player runs down the east stairs, then he gets the kill. And if he goes up the east stairs, his teammates get the kill. So this is the League of Fact style of lurking. Supporting the team. Oh, yeah. I mean,
there's the kill. Finds
perfect.
Loira as they flush him down the east stairs. You called it, Nick, and that's exactly what happened. Stompin will trade him. Damage done, though. The Tachanka nullified. No more pesky fire to deal with. League of Fact now can just sit back and play an RTS. He can just call to his team and say, guys, you go here, you go there. I can see it all from a top-down position, metaphorically.
That's the benefit of the IGL dying first for sure. If you notice, League of Fact actually doesn't watch drones all that often, and some people might go, why is he not watching the cams? He's supposed to be a smart player. But it's like there's more value in him watching the players and try and coordinate what they're gonna do next, and then he can watch the cameras after. Of course, sometimes no good cams are up and alive. Right now, what Falcons need is entry fragging power. That's why we're watching Shaiko right now, because he's the man to get that job done. If not, Breedick on Blackbeard can try and assist him with the information first, or a drone.
Doki's gonna fall back.
Syria gate active!
Down onto site, reactivates the Syria gate. So Usus might actually have to use his final smoke to burn that. Usus doesn't have any other util that he can use to get rid of the gate. What to do now? Alam out, freezing himself up, and Shaiko finds the opening. Doki down, but Bride falls as well. Blast holding with the slug shotgun this angle. Just gets off of it as Shaiko peeks. Shaiko is the killer man for Falcons, but he's also the one with Diffuser. He's got to come through big with Solotov to cover. Users supporting as well from outside. He's now back in bathroom. Alamau can't land his shot. Solotov goes hunting. G2 had match point just last round, but now it's Falcons that are about to claim one of their own. Stompin, the rookie. What can he do when 3 players are surrounding him and the diffuser is planted? 14 kills so far, and I don't think he's going to find a hell of a lot more. Solotov goes down, but Shaiko gets his revenge. Another one for Falcons, and match point is in their grasp.
And straight we see League of Fag, you know, talking next round strategy right there, most likely saying, guys, lock in one more round, one more round. I really think what they're doing right now is they're just giving Shaiko really good gunfights, and they can't do it with the drones because there aren't many left. It's late stage of the round, right? So what do they do instead? They use the Blackbeard almost like a clash or a deployable shield if you're a defender, where he stands in a doorway with a small gap, and Shaiko is peeking through the shield and just getting kills. That's what they're doing bottom east. And then Brede dies to a crossfire. Shaiko then will become the flex player and start planting shortly after. So he's doing pretty much everything right now for Falcons in like the bigger picture. But when you look at the details, he's getting so much help to be the star player of these rounds, whether it's drones or the BB or Dokipi calls previously as well. There's all these different things happening in the server at the same time, enabling this kind of performance. And we're still not really seeing Doki and Laura fully ramping up to their full potential, I feel like. They have been a little bit lackluster. And the only person that can take down Shaiko right now in the server seems to be Stompin. And he's been last alive so many rounds above the attack and the defense, been like 1v3, 1v2 in these subpar positions. We gotta get Stompin in the battle earlier in the game because he's hitting shots, he's getting kills, but he's often last alive in an unwinnable round. Get him in the action earlier and set your team up together for a better late round.
And you want to talk about early game, right? Last 6 rounds in a row, Falcons have found the opening kill. In the first half, when G2 were attacking, they won 5 out of 6 of the opening engagement. So essentially what I'm saying here is there's only 2 rounds, or 1 round rather, where the defense has found the opening pick. Every other round has been the attack. So G2, they have that on their favor this time around. Uses, he falls. Goes for aggressive spawn peek, and the trend will continue. Attack continues to dominate these opening engagements. G2 have an early numbers advantage.
Risky play, but that's what you gotta do sometimes, especially on border. That kill could have been so big for his team of Falcons, but Uses goes down instead. ALM mostly pre-plays gadgetry, of course, so you get to keep that value still. Look at League of Fag, he wants to trade it back.
Oh, what is this? Yeah, he bites off way more than he can chew. It's a double up for Loira. As he cracks 10 kills, Falcons have pretty much lay down and die on this defense. The attacking prowess continues for G2. Brede for 1. Once called the Clutch King, I don't think he can find a 1v5. Did we deserve anything less? I think not. G2 have sent it to a 15th round to settle this grand final rematch.
Wow, we have to go all the way. This is the way that it's gotta be. It's crazy how these rounds can flip so quickly. G2 playing sloppy, then playing perfect. Falcons playing sloppy, then playing perfect. I'm not sure sloppy is the right word, but they're playing loose, rather, I should say. Some of these rounds get decided in 4 seconds, and some they take every single second on that 3-minute timer. And, you know, the issue is when you play these overtime games is that eventually you're going to come to a point where you play 2 rounds on the unfavorable side because it becomes a best of 3 in overtime, right? If you start an attack in overtime, you're going to end an attack in overtime, assuming that you play all 3. And that's kind of where the problem lies, because G2 just attacked. They won the round, great, 7-7. But now they go on defense. It could be one of those games where attack is just going to steal the show unless G2 can really muster up the courage and the gameplay that they need to win this final round.
So how the hell do you do that? How the hell do you win the opening pick as the defense? Because we've seen both teams try spawn picking and it's failed every time.
Simple
We've seen them try and play passively, but you know what? There's always been an early opening pick, Pengu. The latest in the round the opening killer has occurred is with 1:38 left on the clock. That's the latest it has occurred.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's within 2 minutes. Oh, like within the first minute, I should say.
I think right now, instead of trying to push forward and take the fights, like looking at Laura and East there since playing Wamai a few rounds ago, you cut your losses and fall back a little bit earlier than you normally would because you stay alive. You try and establish a crossfire or a team play somewhere. Instead of taking a 1v1, you take a 2v1, you take a 2v2, you try and again play the numbers. And I think you try and give someone like Stompin the gunfight instead. Stompin has put down all his utility, 4 castle barricades, the bulletproof camera, and he spent the shotgun, right? Yes, he's got the UMP, but he is literally the most consistent fragger in the server for G2 right now, and he's again often last alive. If he gets an early gunfight and can utilize one of his teammates to like bait off of, that can get you the winning kill. And if Doki dies and Stompin gets a kill, that's success. But if Doki takes a gunfight and Doki dies and Stompin is there to take the gunfight back, it's a failure. So I want to see G2 play together. Have squads working together. 2 people there, 3 people there. No solo play.
At the moment, it seems to be pretty classic border for G2. The drones continue to be so powerful for the attack. Falcons, full info on what's happening in security. Blaz has been spotted. A flashbang goes out. They're just trying to bait him. Blaz doesn't get flashed, but he's still just watching for the vertical. Ooh. Feels that pressure from League Effect down below. The mirror nullified. Blaz needs to be ultra cautious not to overpeak.
I like some Falcons though. They've been playing so fast on the injuries. Now they're peeling back the layers. Step 1, get the mirror window. Not even gonna play for kills just yet. Just again applying the pressure, making Blaz feel a bit nervous. They're on the break room door. If they're Radiant holding the angle and he crosses, that can be a free kill.
Blaz is so trapped. All they have to do is line him up. Buck still not displacing him down below though, as the rest of Falcons make their way in from East Stairs. The focus now seemingly going to be on the office side rather than CCTV, where we've seen the rest of the action go down.
Alright, so they actually fell back from triple East Stairs, reinforced the wall mid-round, and has again surrendered space for the Falcons, forced them into an execute. This is exactly what I want to see them do actually. They're playing the clock, they're playing crossfires, but Doki under a lot of fire.
And another opening kill for the attack. Serves Falcons very well. It's Shaiko matching Stompin for kills and hungry for more. Moira needs to have an impact here at 90 Hallway. The castle barricade protecting him for now, but also preventing the flank as Alamau lashes out. Shaiko finds Moira. Alamau looks for more and finally gets down the Frenchman. But Falcons stand tall, 3v2. Blaz and Stompin on the site. It's all up to Stompin now. He's the last one standing in a 1v3. Falcons hunt him down. Uses for the double. And it's revenge for Falcons. G2 are no longer undefeated because someone soars above.